Hey, truth seekers, welcome back. Zach here. Wednesday, April 19th, 2017. This evening, like every Wednesday night, I'll be on Truth Frequency Radio, 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. if you're on the West Coast, 9 p.m. to midnight if you're on the East Coast. I'll give the link to the show if you've never listened before. Free to listen to, caller-friendly program. Always a good show. Anyhow, earlier I put out a video on why Bill O'Reilly was being fired today. It's now official. He's been fired. I want to show you what I missed in the first video. This is really going to bring it home. Important post here. So Bill O'Reilly fired April 19th, 2017, and all by the numbers. Let's get into it. While he is being fired, he happens to be in Italy at the Vatican meeting with Pope Francis. Last year, we saw Pope Francis meet with John Boehner, the head of Congress. Then John Boehner came out and said, after talking to the Pope, I don't want to be the head of Congress anymore. I'm going to step down. And then Paul Ryan, who's a Catholic, a Jesuit, took over. We also saw the Pope meet with Jeb Bush. Then Jeb Bush said, you know what? I don't want to run for president anymore. And then Donald Trump, the Jesuit, just like the Pope, the Masonic order within the Catholic Church, has gone on to become president. We're going to touch more on that. But anyway, Bill O'Reilly over at the Vatican with the Pope the day of his firing. We've seen the Pope talking to media, government, opinion personalities, and people stepping down from their positions. Now, Bill O'Reilly fired the same days with the Pope. So check this out. In the language of gematria, if you're new here, I'm going to link this calculator down below along with my radio show. Just come here. These are your base methods, all on the alphabetic order. You learn these four methods, you see how a lot of things check out. News has gematria 47, and long before I knew anything about gematria, I knew the news loved to use the number 47. We're going to get to what's so special about this number. But news 47, just like Francis 47, just like Vatican 47, in the same method as Francis. Bill O'Reilly, the newsman, with Pope Francis at the Vatican. So here we go. News 47, Vatican 47, Francis 47, Gnostics 47. We're going to talk about Freemasonry and the Gnostics, the old world, esoteric, occult, magical knowledge, such as numerology and gematria, what we're talking about. The word Christian equals 47, and many Christian traditions are based from these old world magical schools of thought. Christian 47, like Gnostics, think about John in terms of Christianity, the Bible. John 47, like authority, like government. Think about here in the United States, this Christian nation with the July 4th 4/7 birthday, where every president has to say just how much of a Christian they are. You know? Authority 47, government 47, president 47, the word Caesar 47. We celebrate or remember the death of Caesar every year, March 15th, the 74th day of the year. Remember the word Masonic 74, Jewish 74, occult 74, English 74, gematria 74, numbers that are reflections of each other. White House has gematria 47, like Republican. Right now we have a we have a Republican president in the White House. Notice the name Trump. Gematria 47. Donald Trump was just defending Bill O'Reilly from these accusations he's resigning over. Donald Trump, who said he could do whatever he wants to women, grope them, kiss them, whatever he desires because he's rich. Republican 47, you know, just for good measure, I should have put it up there. Bill O'Reilly, he's on Fox News, which was created by the Republican think tank, Roger Ailes. Everyone knows that. But notice, Democrats also 47. Again, government's 47. Republicans and Democrats, part of the ongoing theater show that we call American politics. Everybody loses in America. We all fall for this false show that's all about keeping us enslaved to this beast system. But anyhow, we'll get to why foundation and framework are up here. Just remember they're both 47. Just like time, we'll get to why that's significant. Obey, judge. We just saw the 9th Supreme Court Justice named on April 7th, 4/7 or 7/4. The word gavel. Look at this. Look at the word gavel, and then watch what happens when I type the word judge. Perfect match, right? Perfect match. Judge and gavel, all four. You know, some words, this is how you can appreciate this system. Some words that just really belong together, you know, you see in the language. It's not any coincidence these words are what they are. And as you study this, you come to realize our language based on this system. So the Freemasons, they have something called the 47th problem of Euclid. And this is the Freemason symbol with the compass from geometry class set at a 47-degree angle. The Freemasons have the 47th problem of Euclid, which is how to take a piece of rope, some anchor points, and by using the North Star, or known as the pole star, create a perfectly square foundation based on knowledge from the Greek mathematician Euclid. 47th problem of Euclid, 47. Like pole star, like foundation, like framework. You know, the Freemason compass at 47 degrees with the big G, the 7th letter. 7 is the 4th prime number. You know, numbers that cannot be divided, indivisible, meaning strong, powerful. 7, the 4th prime number. 47, the degrees on the compass. With regards to the word time being 47, the tropics, which tell Cancer, the Tropic of Cancer and Capricorn, which tell time, which measure the solstices, which measure winter and summer for the northern and southern hemisphere, they are 47 degrees apart. 23.5 degrees north, 23.5 degrees south, just like the degrees on the compass. You see? All of this stuff comes back to time. All of these numbers have to do with the world we live in, a world of cycles and circles and orbit of the sun. The more you study this language, the more you appreciate how it's been built. And it is used daily in rituals. So to make a little transition, familiar word from Christianity, the beast, you know, representing, you know, the darker side of man, something evil. Beast also has this gematria 47. And with regards to Bill O'Reilly, the newsman, who's fired today while meeting with the Pope, check this out. Bill O'Reilly's 67 years old. The name Bill O'Reilly equals 67, fitting age to retire. He's in Italy. Italy has the gematria of 67, just like satanic. 67 is not an evil number. If you go to the calculator and find your name sums to 67, there's a lot of lovely things about 67. It's not all bad, but a lot of people know. The Catholic Church, a lot of blood on their hands, the Crusades. Anyhow, satanic, Italy, Bill O'Reilly. Bill O'Reilly, an evil propagandist responsible for spreading needless wars against Islam after September 11th. Bill O'Reilly, the Crusades, we'll get there. Notice Pope Francis has gematria of 122 like satanic, also like Freemason. And Pope Francis is absolutely a Freemason. Here he is doing the hidden hand before becoming Pope. He's also the first Jesuit Pope. We'll talk about why that's significant. The Jesuits, the Masonic order within the Catholic Church. Notice in gematria, Pope Francis, 58. Just like Rosicrucian, which means Rose Cross. The Rosicrucians, a Christian movement about mixing the old world magical religions with Christianity, existing at the same time modern English was created, and having a lot to do with the Catholic Church and the Jesuits. So Pope Francis 58, like Rosicrucian, like Rose Cross, the Rosicrucians had major influence on modern Freemasonry. Freemasonry 58, like secret society, Freemasonry based in the Old Testament, the Jewish portion of the Bible. The Catholic Church has Jewish roots, Jesuits, Freemasonry, secret society, both 58, just like Solomon's Temple, which Masonic lodges are constructed after. Masonic history, knowledge in Solomon's Temple, ancient Israel, having a lot to do with September 11th, see my work. Jerusalem, where Solomon's Temple was, 58. United States is New Jerusalem, a Jewish Masonic nation. Annuit Coeptus, 58. Craftsmen, what Masons are referred to as. Legend of the Craft, 58. So, Bill O'Reilly, he's over there with Pope Francis, the Jesuit, the Freemason. It's exactly 144 days before Bill O'Reilly's upcoming birthday. 144 is our number for time. In the video I put out earlier, talked about the significance of 144 in time and him turning 68. Check that out. Knowledge you need to know. But anyhow, the phrase "you're fired" has gematria of 144, just like Jesuit order. And think about how we have Donald Trump, the Jesuit president, who went to Fordham University, the Jesuit school. And what's he known for? "You're fired." So we have this Jesuit president, we got this Jesuit pope, we got Bill O'Reilly, the Republican propagandist in the media. "You're fired," Jesuit order 144, again 144 days before Bill O'Reilly's upcoming birthday. The United States of America also sums to 144 like the word corporation. Fox News, a news corporation. The Catholic Church, the most powerful corporation in the world that doesn't have to pay taxes. This nation that we live in, the United States, think about this nation. We say a man named Christopher Columbus, CC, who was paid for by the Catholic Church, the CC, sailed over here on behalf of the Catholic Church, again, who paid for his voyage, and then discovered the Americas where people already lived. Where Washington, D.C. is today, the modern capital, that used to be called the Catholic Colony. The Catholic Church, the Zionists, the Freemasons, they've always had major influence over this nation, and we're going to talk about how these things come together right now. So we're talking about how these numbers 144 connect to the Jesuits and the United States of America. Pope Francis, born December 17th, 1936. Remember when you sum every number 1 through 36, it totals 666, number of the beast. Our little beast transition. Anyway, his date numerology of birth, December 17th, 1936, 12 plus 17 plus 19 plus 36 equals 84. Just like United States of America equals 84, read George Orwell's 1984, Jesuit 84, Masonry 84, Zionism 84. See how it all overlaps? Zionist Jews, Freemasonry, the Catholic Church. Comes together too nicely, doesn't it? This is who built this nation, the United States of America. This is who's responsible for the genocide. This is who's responsible for so many wars. So let's get to the Crusades here. TV has gematria 42, like No Spin Zone, like Jesuit, like Georgetown, the Jesuit school, right by Washington, D.C., first university built in the nation, back when it was the Catholic colony. The Freemason symbol, the big G, representing the Freemasons, Freemason 42, just like big G represents 42. With regards to 42 in the Crusades, here we go. The Crusades, 42. Just like war, 42. Just like World War, 42. Just like history, 42. The first published Bibles were 42-line Bibles. 42-line Bibles. The New Testament begins with the 42 generations to Jesus. Here you have Bill O'Reilly, this man who poses as a good Christian man while telling people that it's okay to slaughter brown people all over the corners of the earth, making every excuse in the book for every, massacre, every wrongful incident where the U.S. has blood on its hands. An apologist for tyranny, who's a good Christian man. See, this is what's wrong with religion and nation, and when people start, making themselves part of these things. They don't realize how they become part of a evil agenda. So, have spirituality, believe what you want, but don't ever align with these monsters on TV, these liars, these false human beings, the Pope, this Jesuit gangster doing his little hidden hand, and now every time he speaks as the Pope in his little costume, he gets up there and acts like he's this nice, sweet man. What did he do last week? He donated 6 washers, 6 dryers, and 6 irons to the homeless. What a sick little joke. The Catholic Church murdered millions, stolen the wealth of nations, and they give back the homeless right outside the Vatican 6 washers, 6 dryers, and 6 irons. Putting it right in people's face. Did you notice the Crusades had gematria of 174? So does number of the beast. What is 666? Just like New World Order. New World Order, 174. Notice the gematria of 75. If you just take the word order alone, it also has gematria of 75. And like 33, today, April 19th, 2017, date with a life lesson number of 33. Here we're talking about the Catholic Church, the CC, the 33, Masonry 33, Zion. That's not what I meant. Secrecy 33. So what else should I tell you before we go? Let me give you a little more knowledge. Let's take it a few steps further. Mind-blowing stuff people need to know. History, U.S., Catholic Church, all coming together. This year, Donald Trump, the Jesuit. Oh, as I say that, I got to tell you something. The word Pope has gematria 52, just like NWO for New World Order, just like authority, just like government, just like president, just like White House. Pope Francis, he met at the White House with Obama on September 23rd, 2015, a date written 23/9, kind of like 239. That's the 52nd prime number. The U.S. flag was sewn at 239 Arch Street in Philadelphia. Right now, the flag is 239 years old. Donald Trump, he went to Fordham University, the Jesuit school, starting in '64, 52 years before being elected president. You see this? You see how this comes together? So check this out. Donald Trump had his GOP convention in Cleveland, Cleveland 33 like federal, like order, like masonry. He had his GOP convention in Cleveland starting July 18th, 18/7, 187 days before Inauguration Day in Washington, D.C. Washington, D.C. 187, like George Washington, like Rockefeller, powerful industrialist family, like Society of Jesus, the full name of the Jesuit order, Donald Trump, a Jesuit. His convention was in Ohio, Ohio 187, 187 days till Inauguration Day. The last Republican president was Bush, born July 6th, the 187th day of the year. With regards to Catholics and Jesuits, there's only been one Catholic president, JFK, and JFK assassination equals 187. It also happened in the 187th year of the nation's existence, the JFK assassination. His body was flown back to Washington, D.C. right away. If you multiply 187 times 6, you get 1122. That's Sumerian gematria. He was assassinated on November 22nd. You know what I mean? News by the numbers. That was a date with a life lesson number of 52. JFK assassination also 52. Like president, like White House, like government, like authority, like Pope, like NWO. Jackie Kennedy had met with the Pope for 33 minutes on March 11th. I got videos on all these things if you want to go back and watch. Dallas, Texas, gematria of 71 like Catholic. And I'm glad I'm reminded of that because when you write out 71, it sums to 144. The only other number that's that way is 44. Again, 144 days from Bill O'Reilly's birthday, his firing, his date with the Pope. I mean, how well coordinated. It goes to show Bill O'Reilly is no doubt a Jesuit. You know, this is why he's in the ritual. So are a lot of other people. And think about it. The church, it's all about controlling the masses, controlling the mind's eye of the masses, steering the people. Religion, government, they serve the same purpose. This nation used to have the Catholic colony, a government for a lot of people who lived here. Also, JFK, the only Catholic president, the 35th president. And Catholic also has the gematria of 35. Dallas, where he died. Dallas has a lot of things that are interesting in gematria. 113, like Scottish, like mainstream, like dishonest. But this goes to show just how well planned out all this is. JFK was killed on 11/22, 11 plus 22, 33, in the middle of Dealey Plaza, named after a 33rd degree Freemason. The name Kennedy's 33, you know. So just trying to help you see all these pieces coming together. Since we talked about the compass, something more you should know about Washington, D.C. real quick. We started with 47, the 47 degrees on the compass. The streets of Washington, D.C. were built by a 33rd degree Freemason from France. He put this 47-degree angle in this intersection that points right at the White House. And notice, 47 degrees on the compass, 90 degrees on the square, 137 total degrees, like Washington, D.C., like authority, like White House, like government, 137, the 33rd prime. Anyway, this street design here, there's something even more to appreciate about the 47-degree point. France, where this Freemason who designed Washington, D.C. was from, France equals 47. The plan is called the L'Enfant plan, which has gematria of 333. Look at what the compass means. The Freemason compass from their own website means circumscribe our desires and keep our passions within due bounds, which in gematria sums to 333, just like the name of the plan that built Washington, D.C. Also, if you write out 47th problem of Euclid, gematria of 333. There was an article just put out last week about how Barack Obama played golf exactly 333 times his 8 years in office. Search the article, verify it yourself. Obama, the president equals 47, 333 trips. You see what's going on here, Truth Seeker? Also in the news today, warships confirmed deployed for North Korea. Some war games today. Sean Spicer, SS, says, it is a fact. 88 like Trump. The word beast also has gematria of 88. 88 representing the infinite loop of time. Warships have the gematria of 113 like projectile. This is in response to the failed projectile test in the media from the weekend. Mainstream 113, dishonest, green screen, fiction, bullshit. Today's date, life lesson number 33. Like war games, we're defending South Korea. South Korea 137, the 33rd prime. Kim Jong-un turned 33 years old last year, the media told us, and then he turned 33 again this year. Now he's born in 1984. George Orwell, who wrote the book 1984. The Korean War began on his birthday, June 25th, 1950. And look at the president, or the leader of North Korea, Kim Jong-un, 114, like World War, like Pearl Harbor, like Holocaust. They changed his birth year to 84. Last year it was 83. 1984 author. The Korean War began on what would have been his 47th birthday, but he died 121 days prior. So hopefully things are getting more clear by the day. The book is getting better and better by the day. For all of you waiting patiently for the book, I'm going to finish it. It's just I want to make sure I get all the final last touches in there and things I need to appreciate. Each day things are getting put in there that weren't there before. A week ago I would have been missing the JFK 187 piece in the 187th year. Aren't you glad that's going to be in the book? I need this book to be a masterpiece. I've already had a lot of bad things come back to me just for exposing this knowledge. The book's going to be by far the best thing I've done yet. And when it comes out, I'm going to have even more enemies than I have now, so I got to make sure I do it right. A lot of other great minds are going to come along and take this research further, but, I'm a believer in doing things the right way the first time. I didn't talk about 223 in this video, but remember this. Measure twice, cut once has the gematria of 223. Very important number to Masonry. You take away the 137 degrees from their symbol, from the 360 degrees of a circle, you get 223, the number for Masonic, the synagogue of Satan. Also, since we're talking a lot about religions, remember, Bill O'Reilly, he's been a participant in creating this cultural divide in so many ways, fueling the needless wars after 9/11. Check this out. Abrahamic religions, gematria of 322, number of skull and bones, the Masonic order, just like ancient mystery religions, which is what all the old world occult knowledge is based in. And remember, they say the first printed Bibles published March 22nd, 1457. March 22nd. This year in 2017, they reopened Jesus' tomb on March 22nd. The first line of the Bible, opening verse, equals 223. Genesis 3:22. King James Version, New International Version, both sum to 322, those verses. Genesis 3:2 about knowing good and evil. This is what's happened in the world. There's been a merger of knowledge. You know, pretty much all of the mainstream religions are following this, but there's been this false division created, you know, just to keep people divided. Those Freemasons, they believe in order out of chaos and divide and conquer. You know, and they orchestrate war and governance and all the things that we the people suffer from, you know. All right, Truth Seeker, until next time.